this game last night, the thought that keeps going through my mind is, Anthony Davis knocks down a huge shot at the end of game 2. If that bounces off the back of the rim, the Lakers are in a 2-1 hole right now. How do you see this series through 3 games?
No reason to panic if you're the Los Angeles Lakers, their fan base, LeBron James or Anthony Davis. If they're healthy, they're going to win the championship this year. They have that pedigree led by LeBron James, who had a 30-point triple-double. But I agree with you, Greeny. This series in the Denver Nuggets are a lot better and closer than people actually imagine. And if Anthony Davis also misses that shot, Frank Vogel and LeBron James get criticized heavily the next day for running that play for their 7-footer, who's basically a 28% shooter in that situation. So Anthony Davis did bail them out in the previous game. However, his lack of aggression, wasn't on the boards, didn't really have a physical impact on the game is what helped cost the Los Angeles Lakers Game 3.
Yeah, Kendrick Perkins opened our show this morning, frankly, angry at the Lakers. He was aggravated at the lack of aggressiveness that they showed early in that game, AD and LeBron and everybody. Did you see it that way?
No, I want to give the Nuggets their credit, Greeny. They took the basketball game. You saw those hellacious shots that Jamal Murray was making late in the game. The rainbow 3-point shot late. And how many times did you see the Joker jump off of a different foot to make a shot? That guy has so much skill, it's outstanding. Jeremy Grant and Morris combined for 40 big points. They needed each one of them. And beyond the score, Greeny, and I know the Lakers made a comeback late. They got a couple of steals, and the Nuggets got careless. This, in theory, was a blowout by the Denver Nuggets. I know the Lakers cut it to a one-possession game at some point late in the fourth, but the Nuggets were in control the entire time. They dominated the boards. Both teams shot over 50+%. The Lakers only made 6 3-point shots. This was the Nuggets showing everybody that this can and should be a long series.
Well, let me give my buddy Rose Stradamus here a little bit of credit. April 2nd of 2018, we were sitting in this room the day we launched this show, and you were on the Nuggets bandwagon then. You were telling everybody this is the team on the come. Whatever happens over the course of the rest of this week, are the Nuggets right now the team of the future in your mind in the NBA?
They're one of them, Greeny. It's hard to say in the era of dynamic duos. You're going to have so many, in particular in the West, we're going to get the Splash Brothers back. They're going to be back in contention. But I'll tell you what, as Jamal Murray has played in this bubble, they now have a legitimate dynamic duo. The Joker has been all NBA the last couple of seasons, and you could basically pencil him in for 25, 10, and 5 boards on a nightly basis. But when Jamal Murray plays like this in the playoffs, he had been doing it in the regular season. That's why they've been hovering amongst the top 3 teams in the Western Conference. But now that he has elevated, absolutely, the Denver Nuggets and that home court advantage. At some point, they're going to be playing in the Mile High. And you know they love to change ends of the floor. They build their team around that. And that home court advantage is something that's extremely distinct that's going to allow the Denver Nuggets to be one of the elite teams in the Western Conference for years to come.
Well, the West is going to be loaded. If you look at that duo you have there, you look at the 2 guys they have in Dallas, Golden State's going to get healthy. The Lakers aren't going away. The Clippers aren't going away. The West is going to be loaded. So the East is the place to go. So let me get you to the next topic here. Billy Donovan leaves the Oklahoma City Thunder. We wondered what stop he would make next. And yesterday, he chooses the Chicago Bulls, who have basically been a dormant franchise for the better part of a decade. What's your reaction to Billy D going to Chicago?
Donovan has been a terrific coach in college, winning 2 national championships. I think the job that he did in Oklahoma City is vastly underrated. I feel like I've been carrying the water for the job that he's done the last couple of seasons. I'm not going to say he's Pop or Eric Spoelstra, but I will say I saw him coach coach different teams in OKC, ones that was led by Russ. Then you bring in Paul George. Then you bring in Victor Oladipo. Then you bring in Chris Paul. Like, they've continued to turn over that roster, and we can't acknowledge enough the fact that they outplayed expectations this year, got themselves into the playoffs, developed some young talent, got so many draft picks, he and Sam Presti, in return for the Paul George deal. The Oklahoma City Thunder are in a really good spot, and I want to give Billy Donovan a lot of credit for helping make that happen. He deserved another opportunity. It looks like it's going to happen in Chicago, and I wish him the best.
Can he make the Bulls a winner?
Well, they need players now. I'm a huge fan of Zach LaVine. He's a legitimate 20-point scorer, a terrific young athlete that has so much amazing potential. And Kobe White, we're going to talk so much about Zion, and rightfully so, and John Morant and all of these terrific young players. But the last, say, 10 or so games of the year, Kobe White was averaging over 25 points for the Chicago Bulls. I like marketing as a young talent. It's Wendell Carter as well. So, again, you win in this league with elite level players. And LaVine is an all-star level player. Kobe White is an ascending player. But if you're going to take that leap, you need all NBA players, like the Nets are going to have when Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving comes back. But I think Billy Donovan's a really good hire, and I'm wishing him the best.
All right, and then finally, tonight you will be here in this studio for NBA Countdown in advance of Game 4 in the East. What do you expect to happen tonight? Celtics looking to even up that series. Miami looking to put a stranglehold.
I expect to get a fresh cut. I'm going to be suited and booted. I'm going to be ready to rock on NBA Countdown. I'm excited for tonight and getting back in the studio with my friends and my colleagues. Here's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting the Boston Celtics to duplicate what they did in the previous game. See, Gordon Hayward now solidifies their lineup. They're not the deepest team in the NBA, but they can put 5 guys out there that can dribble, pass, and shoot. They could switch defensively. Jalen Brown was a bear defensively. He was just getting deflections, getting steals, getting runouts. He got some to Jason Tatum, and Marcus Smart always plays with that toughness and tenacity. And even Kemba, who had been struggling a little bit, then got over 20. So I anticipate a physical game since both teams haven't played in a few days. I love the Miami Heat and Jimmy Butler and Goran Dragic and Bam Adebayo and what they've done to get to this point. But I'm anticipating that the Boston Celtics are going to tie this series.
Should be a fascinating night. Again, that long layoff with all those teams in the bubble. It'll be interesting to see how it affects either or both of them. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.